pouring dark. Back from the dead is a miracle, doc. They counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand. Flipping the script.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Thursday Night CrossFit Talk. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I'm the Clydesdale. I have with me my normal co-host, Jamie Latimer, and our special co-host, who is going to fill in for most of the night for me. I'll be here, but I don't have much of a voice. Carolyne Prevost, who is a great friend of the show, and we appreciate her so much. But we're going to go through today's news, and I'm actually going to turn it over to Jamie to lead this edition. And so we're gonna kick it off.
All right, big day. So one of the big breaking news we got, Mal O'Brien has said she is out and not going to even do the Open this year. Thoughts, Carolyne?
I'm not surprised. Looked like she's, like she said, she's at peace with her decision. There's no timeline for when she'll be ready to come back. If she wants to come back, she's someone that's going to be active, I think, her whole life, and she'll find something to stay fit. And yeah, happy for her. I mean, if this is what she wants and this is what she needs for her health, I think that's good.
Yeah, sounds like she's in Hawaii, enjoying her time. I have heard a lot of people speculating she may be going to do a High Rocks race. They've seen a lot of posts in that direction. A little less stress, I would say, with something like that. So I could see that route. I don't know. I don't even know if competing in anything is on her horizon right now.
She just looks like she's honestly having a good time traveling, spending time with her boyfriend, and getting some training in whenever she can. I think that's good for her.
Yeah, I agree.
This is actually one of my biggest pet peeve topics. And so I want to jump in here a little bit. And that is, we've got to stop pushing 13, 14, 15-year-old kids into professional sports, whether it be soccer, whether it be gymnastics, whether it be CrossFit, whatever it is. Carolyne's a great example. She played sports every season, and it was different. She got to shut off one, pick up another. I did the same when I was in high school. It made high school sports enjoyable for me to move from sport to sport to sport. And the fact that you think a 13-year-old is going to be a professional, it's just too much, I think, for kids these days. And my biggest hope for Mal is I don't care if she ever comes back. If she's happy, that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it says a lot that she moved all the way to Hawaii, kind of out of the spotlight, to get away from some things. And I think we need to respect that and let her find whatever it is she wants to do in life. Because she looks like she's having a ball.
That's a cute video.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, like her whole identity, I feel like for many years was CrossFit, right? And it can be hard to, step away from that and try to refine, what makes you happy. And it, especially when you're that part of your life, you still like, but you just can't do the competition part. So yeah, I mean, looking forward to seeing the things that she's going to post and what she's, her next adventures.
Ken, you are so right. We missed our 5 minutes of TV talk to start the hour. Oh man.
James, right to it.
Turn it over to Jamie and look what happens.
I don't know what I've been watching this week. Nothing really. I haven't got like the movie that you suggested. I saw it, but I skipped over. I've been pretty busy this week, so I don't have any show talk. Carolyne, you been watching anything? I
honestly have not watched a single thing. I am busy doing schoolwork. I just started my new semester last week, so it's just been prepping, meeting my new students, and adjusting where I want to go with the semester, because now you get different levels that come in every year. So it's just been busy first couple weeks, and then things will start to settle after that for me.
So what's up, Scott? Oh, okay. What's your TV?
So, and it goes with the first agenda item we kind of skipped over, and that is my health, that I am back. I'm watching a lot of Friends.
Yes.
And just so you know, the reason I watch Friends is it's probably my favorite show of all time. And it's something that I can sleep to and wake up and sleep and wake up and sleep and kind of keep. I know the show well enough that I know where we're at. But I've also had a lot of anxiety with what's happened to me this last week. And Friends has kept me even keel during that with just some lighthearted laughter and nothing too serious. Before I went in the hospital, I was watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I stopped that for now.
Okay.
I need something normal, something just kind of easy on the brain.
Familiar.
So, yeah.
Agreed. So Lex has a couple questions here. Is she in Hawaii with her boyfriend, or did her family move there? I don't believe her family moved, so I think that she's just there with the boyfriend.
But I do
And
believe she moved there.
I think so too. And I noticed that back when I went in like August that she had put Hawaii in her post. So she's been there a while. And she doesn't have HWPO in her bio anymore. Did she leave? That's a good question, because they posted her a couple of months ago when they did their roster. So that might be a new exit.
At the end of the video, she says, "When you want to know more about my future, you'll hear it from me."
Wow. That's a statement, huh?
She also has her her YouTube channel, so I'm sure she might start doing a little bit more with that and maybe showing a different side of her. I know I watched something with her cooking and things like that, so I'm sure she's going to explore different avenues as well.
Yeah. We got a Christopher Alford. Carolyne, what do you teach? My daughter's a music teacher.
So I have grade 9 math, grade 10 math, and then a grade 11 and 12 fitness class, which I crushed today. It's great.
I'm sure you crush that every day. They gotta love having you as a fitness.
They have a lot of
teacher.
respect, that's for sure. And this group that I have this semester, they all took the class in grade 10, basically almost all of them. And they have continued to work out at lunchtime, and they've all signed up for different gyms. And they come in now with their little notebooks, write the workout, write all their lifts and everything. Like, they're so independent. It's really nice to see them take that, very passionate with their work.
That's awesome.
And you have an affiliate in the school.
Yep. Yeah, that's the gym. It's just the affiliate. So I get access to some of the affiliate benefits.
That's really cool. Okay, another athlete. Lazar leaves Mayhem. This one's news to me, so Scott found some recent information that I hadn't seen. So you have an Instagram post on this? All right.
Nope. All these pins get me.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Maybe that was it.
I think I had seen something about
Maybe
the
he
fact that he
pulled
was
it.
going back to his previous coach from when he did the best at the games, right? Is that what we had
is it.
seen? I don't remember where it
I think
was.
he pulled it.
Yeah, he may have pulled it. But it did mention something about going back to his roots when he first finished top 10 at the games, and then had a picture with like a coach or something like that. And then assuming he's going back there. It could just be that's his like coach where he lives, and then still follows the Mayhem program, which you see a lot of times when people don't really live in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's got to be hard. I mean, you can follow the Mayhem programming, but I feel like if you had a good thing going, if you aren't going to be in that camp with them, you're probably better off with the personal coach that you had.
Yeah, it might be in a story. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, it could be a
so
story.
that was it. I just showed it where he does advertise for ATB lab programming. But there's a comment he makes. So I'm back for that video we just showed. And here
That's
it
the
is.
one, I think.
Whoops. I tried to pause and it went. 2021, my first CrossFit Games, first top 10 finish, first event win, and the best male rookie of the year. All done with this, man. Glad to be back to finish what we started.
Yeah, good for him. Ken says here, I remember Rich saying a couple years ago that it seems the trend for people to only be at Mayhem for about 3 to 4 years at most and then move on. I mean, that could be due to the intensity at which they train. I mean, Rich has said so many times the training age of his body is just, it's just too much wear and tear. Like, they go hard there. They do a lot of volume. I kind of think that's the case in most camps. You can only hang around for so long and keep up for so long.
Yeah. And if you know the coach like very well and you have that good relationship, sometimes it just has a little bit less pressure. You know, you can be more honest with your training with that person and adjust things as you need.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do my health update before my voice
Yeah.
goes?
At least
we're trying to save you from talking. We know you're going to do you also with Cheryl tomorrow, but please tell us everything that you're going through.
So if you listened to the weight loss show last week, I was kind of hitting a breaking point where I couldn't breathe much. I couldn't breathe very well. And with Cheryl and I talked about the stresses in my life, like my sister's having cancer removed tomorrow, some different things like that. So I went to the family doctor that Tuesday, which would be a week and a half ago. He diagnosed me with a lung infection, gave me antibiotics and steroids. I get to Friday, I start to feel a little bit better. Saturday, fell off a cliff, like could barely breathe, could barely even walk like to the bathroom. And my wife is like, we're going to the ER. So we go outside and I'm in such a panic attack. Like I can't even get in my car. I can't even describe like every time I got in the car, I couldn't breathe.
Was it the anxiety of going to the ER or was it?
I don't know.
You were feeling?
So I had like so much gas. My stomach was protruding out. And every time I like crunched into the car, it felt like you were cutting off my airway. And so she takes me to the ER. I finally get in there. I opened this. It was cold Saturday. Like we had the sunroof open. We had the windows open. But thank goodness the ER is only like 10 minutes up the street. So we get there. Couldn't ask for better care. They get me in, like 15 tests done in 5 minutes. Like bing, bang, boom, chest x-ray, chest, a CAT scan, stomach x-ray, just one thing after another. And they found the AFib within 10 minutes. Hooked me up to an EKG, found that immediately. And then it was put me on medicine to try to get that to correct itself. That wasn't happening very fast. So they decided they were going to transfer me to the hospital. Squad came and got me at like 4:00 in the morning on Saturday night. Sunday morning, I go to the hospital. They hooked me up to everything, another bunch of tests. So what had happened was, so a lot of things around it. So the AFib is the most important thing, which is not life-threatening in itself, but it can cause strokes. It can cause some other things. So you want to get it under control. But I had that sinus surgery in October, and I was on prednisone a lot. That prednisone pushed my blood sugar up to 380. And eventually we learned my A1C to 10, and it was like 6 months ago. So now I'm in like diabetic need.
Mm-hmm.
I have that. Blood pressure stayed okay. It was a little bit variant, but it was in the okay range. I'm trying to think what else. I'm still doing the coughing thing. So they're having me spit in a cup so that can go off to lab. They're giving me stuff for that. And every time that like I'm coughing, I'm panicking because it's closing off my airway to like everything. I have so many medications right now. It's insane. And so what, I stayed there for a couple of days. Everything leveled out. My heartbeat was 150 beats a minute to 165 beats a minute when I went into the ER. When I got let go, it was between 65 and 75, but still not synced. So they sent me home with medications. I don't trust my family doctor anymore. And I talked to the doctor in the hospital, like, what do I do? I don't trust him because every time I go there, all he does is throw pills at me and doesn't like do the tests I need done. So they set me up with a counselor to get a new doctor. So I see the new doctor next Friday. I see the cardiologist on Monday to kind of follow up. The cardiologist is going to make the decision on Monday. If the medicine hasn't done it enough, they're going to set an appointment to shock my heart back into rhythm.
So it's still irregular right now?
Yeah.
And you like, do you feel that? Like, I guess like.
Now I'm acutely aware of it. So like I can feel like a flutter in my chest every time it gets way off. So they hooked me up to a machine in the hospital and there's two beats going. There's the top of your heart and the bottom of your heart. And the closer they're matched, the better I feel. So if one's beating at like 65 beats a minute and one's at 68 beats a minute, I'm feeling really good, even though it's still off. But if they vary, I feel like a flutter in my chest and it just zaps me. So yeah, Monday's the decision whether they bring me in and shock the heart back to rhythm. Or if it's so bad, they need to do an ablation, which means they go in, there's a sensor at the top of the heart that basically you go in and you clean it off and then it sets it back to rhythm. So that's kind of like what's coming up. But in the meantime, I'm taking all these diabetes medicines. I'm taking they have me on blood pressure just because a stroke is the most dangerous thing. So anything that can cause a stroke, they're trying to get my stuff as low as possible. So I'm like, I have to inject insulin for the first time in my life. I am taking metformin. I am taking heart pressure or blood pressure medicine. It's just crazy.
Are you taking the insulin like on your, like the finger or like you have to go in your stomach or?
Yeah, I have to prick my finger to read my blood sugar. Then I have to inject it into my stomach or my thigh or whatever. I thought that would be hard. It was not.
Yeah.
But it's just
how many times a day do you have to do that?
The insulin just once. And it's because it's for sleeping. It's like a longer lasting medicine where like the metformin I take only lasts for a few hours. So you take that like during the day when you're awake and can take it. And then at night you take the insulin to kind of get you through the night.
Are you getting through the night? Are you sleeping through the night?
Sleeping way better.
Okay.
Now. My cough is actually reduced through all of this. It's still there and I still like cough up phlegm occasionally, but not like I was. And I was telling Jamie, the analysis on the phlegm came back. I don't understand anything it says. So I'll have to wait for the doctor to tell me what that means. And
I hate that. I just want, gosh, I hope this new doctor gets you some answers. Like you need to get to the bottom of this. This has gone on for far too long.
So I want to answer. Kenneth says, did they say what caused it? They say you can't know what causes AFib. Like it is the most common irregular heartbeat in the world. Millions of people have it and you don't know why it happens. And I can tell you the amount of people that have reached out to me who have it has blown me away.
Mm-hmm.
the amount of DMs I've gotten, the amount of well wishes I've gotten, I like cried this afternoon. I mean, CrossFit sent me a card wishing me well. Unreal. And I appreciate each and every one of the messages. They mean the world to me. But these people that have gone through what I've gone through and know what it's like and are on the other side, those messages mean so much to me because they're giving me the confidence that in a few weeks I should be better.
So what's your routine like during the day? The last couple of days, are you at home?
So I got home Tuesday night. Basically I have not been back to work. And the only thing normal I've done is today, these 2 shows with Jason Grubb this morning and this one tonight. Everything else is just get through the day. Yesterday, here we go, cheesy me. Before all this happened, I bought my wife Lego flowers. And then I went to the hospital and couldn't get them made. So yesterday I was putting them together and it helped me so much just to like clear my mind, just to do something with my fingers. And I know it sounds juvenile, but it just helped. So like I'm trying to do like more puzzly stuff during the day when I'm awake, just to keep my mind off of things. But yeah.
Are you able to like go for a walk and let's say with the dog or anything?
They do not want the heart elevated at all until they figure this out. Yeah, I'm pretty much on like a bed rest.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to see you back today.
Yeah, it's good to be back. But the Grubb interview did take it out of me. But thank goodness he talks a lot. I know that was said in the comments earlier, because it did give me time to kind of recoup the voice while he was talking, to be able to ask questions. But yeah.
You have so many people praying for you, and I know you're getting those messages. But yeah, everyone's been behind you. You've seen the posts, you've seen the other channels speaking about you. So yeah, just know that people are here for you. We are praying that this doctor figures some things out and we get to the bottom of all of this.
It's really got me. So the thing about the doctors and all that, like, I'm just pissed off. I just want to, now I'm in a mode where get me back to like function and let me kick some ass. Right. Like, that's just where I want to be now. I have all these prescriptions. Let's start checking those off and throwing them in the trash. Like, I want to like just get rid of them all. And it gives me a goal to like shoot for. Let's take 9 down to 7. Let's take 7 down to 5. And let's go.
Yep.
So that's it.
Well, the channel, if you want more delving into this, Scott's going to go over it with Cheryl tomorrow. So there will be even more in-depth talk. So join, get some more background, and hop in on that. Okay. So I thought I'd jump in on this trend of the Versus series. And I have a unique, I think, perspective in my gym of, I now have Haley Rolfe, a 3-time Teen Games athlete. She's 18, training right beside me. And then I have Jim, 2022 third fittest man, 65 plus, that trains next to me every single day. So a pretty wide array of ages. I'd say we're all highly competitive. So I want to want to shoot like once a week, one of our tougher workouts, and show people a 18-year-old, a 40-year-old, and a 67-year-old man, what fitness at any age looks like. And maybe I'll occasionally get one of like my regular class members in there, so you can even see a general population person competing alongside us. I don't know. I don't know if this will pick up or not. I've gotten quite a few comments today that say they love this idea. And I know like Taylor Self is doing it, or Jason Hopper's throwing his weekly ones up. So we'll see. Look at Jim's Tota bars. Somebody call him out on that. No rep.
Would you do the open with them live, or do you want to keep your scores still because it's competitive with the Masters?
I don't know how we'll do the open. Haley and I will probably. So Haley and I are going to try to also go team.
Okay.
With two other guys. So we may keep that, like, not post it until like Monday. But we will probably do the workout together. So there will probably be video of Haley and I doing the workout together. And Jim usually runs opposite of me because I need to really walk him through some things. Scott knows that. Yeah, Jim is no ordinary 67-year-old. He is incredibly fit. His engine is amazing. He's similar to me, and like the top end strength isn't quite there. The difference I'd say is he also doesn't have some top end gymnastic skills. He doesn't have ring muscle ups or a bar muscle up. He can't hold a free, like that's what held him out last year from making the games, was the freestanding handstand hold. He only got like a second. Was if he would have been able to do like 3 seconds, or he would have made it. His shoulder mobility is, we try to work on it every day, but yeah. So if you guys like it, hop on the channel, hop on that video and thumbs up it and comment so that it helps the algorithm, and I'll try to put more of these out.
Is it on the Clyde? Where do we find it? Is it on the Clydesdale Media one?
It is.
Okay, so it's gonna be there. And will it be? You said once a week.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I want to pick a workout that's like under 14 minutes, so it's not so long. This happened to be a 20-minute AMRAP, and I ended up shortening the middle like 5 to 18 minutes. I like sped it way up. You can see it's start. Well, no, it hasn't kicked up yet. But yeah, because I want to talk through the workout, and I don't want us to sit there and talk for 15 minutes. So I'm hoping to find a little bit. Yeah,
some shorter ones might be a little bit more.
I don't know who wants to sit and watch. Andrew, you got to comment on the video and call Jim out. Yeah, I don't. We'll see how long. They won't all be this long. We'll try to find some shorter workouts. We'll try to find, if you go and watch this, Haley and I talk about competing with each other. So I will try to find a barbell centric workout that Haley has a much better shot at beating me at. We've done a lot of gymnastics workouts lately that give me the upper edge. So I'm sure she's itching to beat me in a workout.
She's 18, so she's aged up now this year.
Yes, yeah, she's aged up. Yep. So she's not going to be quite competitive enough to make a semi, I don't think. So I think that's why we've decided to try to put together a team. It'd be a miracle if we made semis, but it'd be fun to go as a group. And Azariah Price is one of our other guys, also a team.
But it's also cool that the Masters are able to do like the whole, because there are different times of the year. Like you have your own path, and then you can also do team. So
yeah, I know. Cool. I love that. I thought that was cool when that came out. So, Ken, the best part of the video was the DBAB discussion. Well, I don't even know what we discussed. What is DBAB? Does anyone else know what DBAB is?
Discussion. I think it says autocorrect.
He put that in the comments too.
Oh, like just our discussion in general was your favorite part of the video? I'm guessing it. Oh, yeah, we did say don't be a bitch, but we both were like, I was telling myself don't be a bitch. Got it.
So the one thing I also want to put out here is Jamie did this on her own, and it is awesome. I love every bit of it. But one thing we want to focus on is all the other people that are doing these types of workouts are men. 50% of the sport is women, and it's just as popular. And maybe Jamie and Carolyne do a head-to-head on one of these weeks. Who knows? Like, it's limitless what we can do with this. Right.
For sure. Yeah. And I was considering that too. Like if this starts to pick up, like I was thinking that like I could send Carolyne a workout I'm going to do. We could both do it, even if it's a day or two apart, but I could take the videos and put them next to each other on the screen and we can show that. Yeah. I'm totally up for any other, like, and not to like try to do a fit wars. It'd just be like, here's a workout and we can analyze it. And this, you know,
and you guys can talk over it. Like we can come on the show. You guys can talk over it, how it felt for each of you differently with your skill set. And, but there's a lot of men's versions of this. We need to get the women their shine too. And
teens and masters.
Yeah. And so I think we could do a lot. You know, we did the whole legend series. We have a ton of masters contacts that we could do the same thing with them. I think it'd be cool. And you know, thank you so much you did all this while I was in the hospital.
Yeah, I did. And I threw this up last night. I was trying to not bother Scott. He's like, just put it on your own channel. I was like, that won't be the same. And I'm trying to do it all alone. And I'm not super proficient with all of this software yet. So I did my best here to put a draft out, and we'll see if it gets some likes, shares. If you guys like share it, I might reshare my story in my Instagram, and if you guys can reshare that and get more views here, it would totally help. Like you guys heard this morning with Jason, it's all about the algorithm and getting YouTube to pick up on things. So if you guys can help, we'll keep pushing out this kind of stuff.
Yeah, because it's the comments or something that you have to put, right? Like we're always doing in the chat for the live chat, but then once the video goes up, if there's not any in the comments, then it's right. It doesn't bring it up as much. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
I know that's part of it. It's hard figuring out YouTube's algorithm.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
So yeah, look for another one of those next week. But moving on, Don Faul has said that a significant amount of money will be pulled from the games team and used to support the affiliates. What does this mean for the support? What are the affiliates asking for?
I mean, I guess we don't know yet because they haven't announced any prize money or broadcast deals. I'm fine if they want to take money out as long as there's sponsorships that are coming in to fill the money that would be, given by CrossFit. Because if CrossFit can save money and, allow other players to enter the space, that's great. But if there's no other players plus CrossFit removing, then that sucks for the sport side of it, because that's, a huge entertainment part of CrossFit, and it'd be sad.
Well, I feel like they've already taken money out of the sport by dropping the semifinals, right? And giving, and that's a good choice. We all think that that's a good idea to give it back to the local comps syndicate running theirs. So there's already money that they've saved on the table. And where are they pulling? They're just pulling more money from all the influx of open and quarters, and they're keeping that and putting it towards affiliates. Like, I don't quite understand. Like, if the money is coming in for the sport side, that needs to be supporting the sport side, because that's clearly where people are showing you they want their money. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and if that's where they want it, then you need to keep investing in the sport side. I don't know what the affiliates are even asking for. More content that isn't game centric. I don't know.
I mean, yes, they should be, pumping out content, daily, essentially, of affiliates and, like basically what you're doing, like, older members, younger masters, teenagers, just more content in general. People from all over the world, not just in the States. People of different backgrounds, just pumping out just content constantly. So I don't know if they just need more people to be traveling around the world. I know that like the money from the CrossFit Open and stuff, like it is good good amount of money with the quarterfinals, but there's still like all those expenses for the semifinals, for the buildings, for the broadcast, the games. Like it's still not enough. They're still taking a lot of money from, I'm assuming, from the L1s and everything else outside of the sport. So I'm sure they're using up all of the sport money already, plus some of the other level 1 stuff that they have money from there. And I'm sure they just want to be like a little bit less, but I don't know what that significant amount's going to be and how that's going to affect, which is weird because you have the teenage games and the Masters the same weekend. To me, that just made it more expensive because now 2 broadcast deals, wouldn't that be more expensive?
This is the one thing that about all of this, and this is further down in the notes, but we can jump to it because it kind of does coincide. Like, I don't understand when you say you're trying to save money in the games because it's so expensive, and then you split into 3 different venues. Now you got to pay for 3 venues. You got to pay for 3 broadcasts. You got to pay for 3 shipments of equipment to be sent to 3 different places. And then you're requiring triple the sponsors to attend or chip in when it could just be the one location. It would make more sense to get like few bigger sponsors in a bigger monetary sense. This is just mind-boggling to me. There's no way this is saving money. And to me, it like the biggest thing comes down to, again, this is further down in the notes, but like the athlete kit, we talked about this with Grub this morning, is such a giant draw for athletes.
You're talking about the swag bag stuff from the games?
Yeah.
That's like, the only reason I wanted to go to the games in 2019. That is the only reason. I was like, oh my God, I get all these pairs of shoes, all this clothes. I wanted to make the cut because I had more clothes. That was my goal to make the cut, was like, oh, I can enter into the prizing money, and I just got a new set of outfits with my name on it. That's how it was. I was going there for the kit.
That is what I've been trying to say. There are numerous, I mean, you're talking in the hundreds of athletes that are just vying to get to that, break into that spot just to show up. I know people say this all the time. Like, if you aren't telling yourself you're going there to win, like, there are lots of athletes that's not in their mind. They are just going there to make it, to win it, to get the kit. They have put up with years and years of striving for this, spending money on like other local comps or traveling to mid-level comps just to get the experience, to walk away with little to no prizes or swags at these, to tiptoe their way into the games just to get the swag bag. That is
at least the first time. That's it. Like
that's what's drawing these people to keep vying for that spot. Ariel Lowen told everyone that.
Just about to say.
That's why. Right. That's why she went to Granite Games, just to get the freaking placard.
Yeah, that was my next one. I was like, yeah, like that's the fun. Like once after a while, the first year you're willing to spend that money, and you're like, I don't care if I'm, out 2,000, 3,000, because I got all this clothes, I got these signs, everything. After a while, you're like, okay, I don't need the clothes. I need the support for the competition. But for those initial times that you like qualify, like those kits are super important. And those are memories. Like I went through my clothes maybe a month ago. I couldn't throw away any of the things that I had from like the first games. I'm like, no, you're attached to that clothes, like that pair of pants I wore in this event, it's like, it's memories.
Yeah, I've spent like days like stressing over this. And when I heard Bob say on the podcast the other day with Jason that they announced the gear sponsor and for the athlete kit for Masters, and it's someone we've never heard of. They don't have bags. It's not Northern Tool, but close. They don't have bags. They don't have shoes. So Will
Go Rock do it for the Masters?
No. We are going to be exactly as I expected, the redheaded stepchild of this entire thing. We're going to go get a couple shirts and a couple shorts, which is exactly what we got at MFC and Legends. So what is it? What is, other than maybe the top 2 or 3 that have a chance of winning the podium money, what is it that's going to draw an athlete to go to the Masters games as opposed to Legends in December? If I personally lived, like at this point, I might as well not go, and I might as well just go to MFC because I can drive there. It's cheaper. I'm going to get the exact same thing out of it. I'm going to get an outfit, and you're
not going to get as many people from South America or Europe or Australia like traveling for the Masters edition as well.
Right.
I mean, already it's separated, right? Those athletes were coming, because they were competing at the games, then they got to watch and, watch the individuals, watch the teams, or, go around the vendor village, etc. But now it's just the Masters. So it's like, what's going to draw all of these athletes in, or the teenagers, or the adapted division too? I mean, even the adapted division is at the same time as the SoCal Wadapalooza. So all 3 of the split off games are clashing with like something with each other or with another major event, which is just unfortunate for the vendors, unfortunate for the athletes, everything.
I wish somehow somebody was willing to get that through to HQ, that like the athlete kit is one of the most important things. Like, and unfortunately, like speaking with Jason, like he doesn't seem to, it doesn't matter to him. Well, it doesn't matter because you've been there 4 or 5 times and you have years of gear. And so like, it doesn't matter to you anymore, but it does matter to a lot of people, and a lot of people who are like 32, 33, who didn't make it and are going to like excited to turn 35 to go. That was always my whole thing. Like I have spent years just trying to make it just to get the kit and to have the exact same thing that everyone else had. And it's $4 grand easily worth of stuff. I mean, everyone got an ice bath last year. We're not going to get anything like that. Like
mine's my new kitchen table because it won't fit on my balcony. That's my kitchen table there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's heartbreaking for me. I'm
so the one thing I don't want to get lost in this is I've been a big supporter of Don Faul. He lost me.
I like him a lot.
He lost me on this one. Okay. And in the notes I put, like, what do the affiliates want with this money? What do they feel they're missing? And then you have people like Dale King coming on Kettlebells and Cocktails saying, it's not CrossFit's responsibility to bring people into my doors. That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. What he wants is the stuff he can't do, like the legal representation of the name, the make sure you protect the brand so that it's there for me. It just feels like CrossFit HQ in this move and in this announcement is going very Orange Theory, very that corporate gym mentality. And I don't think that's what the affiliates want. And you can't count dollar for dollar 50-50 split. They're 2 different entities. And I think earlier in the comments, Kenna said, I bet you if you took a poll of people who got into CrossFit, 75% of them did it because they watched the games on ESPN and went to a gym. Which
again goes back to bringing people within the gym. Like, I don't know how well like Dale King's gym is doing, but at the end of the day, affiliates still want CrossFit to still help in some way, bring a better reputation to the word CrossFit in terms of safety and coaching and stuff like that. So I think that's where the money needs to go. They posted something today with safety and injuries with CrossFit, but like it's protecting the name of CrossFit to bring more people to the affiliates. It's still the games and the Netflix documentaries, or if they want to do other types of documentaries, to continue to expose, people outside of our population to CrossFit, to then bring them to their local affiliates and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's both. It's what CrossFit can do in terms of the name, and indirectly it's bringing people to their affiliates. They still want more members.
So my big overarching question on this is, do you think this means at some point they try to split it off again?
I don't think so. Like between the health, like CrossFit Health, CrossFit for Health, and then CrossFit Sport, you mean? I hope not.
I don't know.
I think they're related. I think they're different, but they're together. But for me, it's just like it's the name. I still, if I'm teaching, let's say, kids, and I say the word CrossFit, there's still kids that even in this generation now, because they watch a lot of bodybuilding and and they're like, oh, CrossFit and kipping pull-ups, and like there's still a negative like view of the word CrossFit and intensity and injuries. So that's where I think we need to continue, like the CrossFit, to push to protect our name and to take away all of these ideas that's on the internet or just word of mouth from people that are not fans of CrossFit. But to separate them, I don't know, because I think the intensity part is still getting everyone fitter with age. That the masters population is huge in CrossFit, and they still can look up to someone within their age group, which is really cool to see what's possible at that age. Like, I don't know. I don't think you can separate fully.
I don't know. On one hand, I want to say yes, it should be separated, because they clearly can't. They seem to not be able to see the difference, and I would almost prefer them to not have any aspect of the open money or anything, and that all just be a separate entity. And if the sport wants to support the sport, then it will, and the money will go where it should go. And in that aspect, like, they need to be separate, so they can't intertwine the funds, and we don't get this muddling of, well, it's just costing us too much money. Is it? Because I mean, I feel like if the games is truly sustainable, if people are going to pay for it, then there's money to be made there in some fashion, and somebody would pick it up. Maybe it'd be Rogue. I have no idea. But in one aspect, I almost feel like it does need to be separated, because we just keep getting this. It costs too much. Well, then you shouldn't be in charge of it. It's like government doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they have the support, I mean, seemed like we were heading that direction, like in 2018, like we were going to get these big deals or something to cover the sport, and then we just kind of lost all the media, right? I mean, if it can work, sure.
Where has the buildup been to the Open? And Instagram here or there. It seems like HQ just neglects YouTube. I've seen a few, I don't know, I'd say every few days I see a post on like Facebook or Instagram showing just a general member doing the Open in their gym with, an inspirational message of like, this is why we do the Open. I've had a lot of those. I've shared them to my own private team page. So they're popping up on my end.
Or they're reposting previous head-to-head matchups. I've seen a lot. Those are the ones that seem to be better on the views. I was looking at some of the views that they've had. Those ones are doing well, like the throwbacks of, let's say, Pat Vellner versus someone.
Yeah. That would be my complaint with their YouTube, is their YouTube has become just a retread of something they've done in the past. They're still getting views, though. Like, don't get me wrong. Showing the past Open announcements, they're doing well. And here's my other beef is, if you've signed up for the Open before, and I know Kenneth hasn't, so like, because of everything going on, I've not signed up for the Open. I get a daily reminder that I need to sign up because I signed up before, like every single day. But I'm not who you should be marketing to. right?
Yeah.
Like, how much are you investing in retention of the people you have as opposed to getting more?
Trying to find new people. More. I don't know. The few things that I've seen on Facebook seem to be the direction that I think they should be going. Maybe it's not getting enough traction. Maybe, again, algorithms. I don't know what's not getting that out to new
I'm never
people.
on Facebook.
You're not?
Maybe CrossFit should be sending stuff to affiliate owners on, send these to all of your members.
Right.
Not just the ones that have signed up, but these are like, I don't know why you should be doing the open, what it can be good for the following year. Like just like certain templates for the affiliates so that they can then grab that information and then boom, they send it to them just to facilitate some of that side for the members. Like that could be something that HQ could be doing, I know for like CrossFit Canada, our affiliate manager sent a few is it through Canvas stuff of why you're doing the open, and like she sent us a few things to the affiliate owners just to share on our pages or stuff or to members. Like I think that idea is good.
Yeah.
I love Kenneth DeLapp because he always puts that little sneaky backhand compliment in for us.
We are talking about Colton next, Ken. Here we go.
Yeah.
So
his first ever podcast.
Yes. His first ever podcast was on this channel.
That's when he made it. That's when you knew he made it right there.
Yep.
Good job, Scott, with that one. You know how to pick them. Okay, so we've just got announced that week 2 announcement is going to be Justin Medeiros versus Colton Mertens. We already know that Colton is doing the Taylor Self versus the World week 3 with Taylor. So is that a lot of head-to-head competition? Is that like an unnecessary amount of anxiety, you think, Carolyne?
No, because I think the open doesn't matter. It's 25%. And then the thing that's different this year is the quarterfinals are pushed back for the individuals about a month after the open. So it's actually fine if you want to grab a little bit more intensity and do the open announcement, go with your buddies and go head to head there. Cause I think that's good practice for then a month later ish for the quarterfinals. I don't think it before it was like a week off and then boom, you're already almost like getting, ready for that. But no, I think it's fine for him.
Yeah. Colton seems to be, he thrives in these situations and he seems to be grabbing at all of these opportunities. He's eating up this. Yeah. Which is strange for him because he doesn't seem like a sociable guy, but he's taking all of these handouts that are coming his way. If there's an opportunity, he's grabbing it. And
he's kind of shown, I don't know if it's like a new personality or his personality from before, or he's just more buying into this character that he's kind of, been given through in the CrossFit space of, that put your head down and you're working hard and that, farm boy type attitude. And you guys are all, crying on the floor and I'm fine. He's buying into that. And I think that's a separation for him in terms of sponsorship. You have to find, if that's working, find it and run with it. And I feel like that's what he's doing lately is he's just running away with that type of character. And I think this is good for him. I was just surprised that it was 2 athletes because I remember Dave said it's going to be more than 2 and less than 7.
Yeah.
And then you saw 2 and I was like, is there more coming? Is there females?
I gotta think there's 2 females coming still.
I want to say there's got to be 2 females, especially with that gold barbell.
Yeah.
A few events. I don't think that they would do all of those events just head to head, Justin versus Colton that whole day doing a few events. Cause I don't think that would be good maybe mentally for either of the athletes,
I want to ask you this, Carolyne. Are you a chip on your shoulder athlete? because Colton has always been a chip on his shoulder, but he internalized a lot of that. Like people said he's too short to do wall balls. I'm doing 100 wall balls a day with a 30-pound ball until I'm great at wall balls, right? And it seems like all that internal chip is oozing out now into an external, stop with the talk that I can't do it. I've heard it for 3 years in a row that I can't get past this, or this. I'm going to get past this. Stop it. Do you ever go in with a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll just tell myself I'm just trying to prove certain people wrong if they like say certain things about me. I'm like, okay, well, I know what I can do. And it's just, but I don't necessarily externally voice it. It's more just internally, just using it as fuel to be like, okay, this, I'm going to prove myself. Like when I used to play hockey, I used to write on my hockey stick, on my, like the knob on my stick, PTW. It was like, prove them wrong. It's like, okay, like if I got sat on the bench and I was mad, I was like, okay, well, next shift, like I just looked down my stick and I was like, prove them wrong, like show them why you should be there. And it was just like, that was like my motto, like in hockey all the time. Or in sports, it was just like, prove them wrong. But then it kind of more recently was like, okay, more like proving me also, not just like them. So it's kind of like a balance a little bit. But yeah, I'd say I have a chip on my shoulder sometimes. I think it's good. It's good.
I don't know what drives me, Scott. I have no idea.
I haven't figured it out either. So just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do some more. I guess a little bit. I want to beat. I don't know. I have no idea. I just have an extreme competitive side.
When you train, do you like visualize a certain competitor? Like what? Like I know, like when I'm training, like I'm not visualizing a specific competitor, but I'm visualizing, other people putting themselves in certain situations. It's like I need to put myself here, and it's like I want to make it here, like to the games or whatever. Like what do you visualize, I guess, when you're training to keep you, I guess, focused or keep, going through those dark places in workouts? Like, what do you think about just pushing yourself or what you can do, or do you visualize?
Usually it is usually just myself. I mean, I will say, like, I'll be on the bike and I'll be like, I don't picture one athlete. I just, in my head, I'm like, anyone else would be willing to suffer worse than you are right now. Like, shut up and don't be a little bitch and push. And I'll I try really hard to do that. If it's like a heavy barbell, like step up and grab this barbell. Like other people are stronger than you and they're already approaching the barbell. But I don't have like a specific, I don't know that anyone has ever like been like, you suck and then I'm like, want to prove them wrong. I don't know. So it's just a general population. Like I just, in any situation, I can envision like people and they're just doing better than me, and I need to push harder and try to catch up or whatever. So
I think what I envision is just like, what is the cut line? And I envision like when I'm in a pace, this is the pace I feel like a games athlete would be doing it at, or this is, an elite score. And I'm just kind of chasing what I kind of visualize as that elite score. And it's like, I want to be elite. This is what I have to do. And I'm just trying to like chase that, because I'm often just training by myself. So I'm just trying to picture some sort of line in front of me. It's like, this is where I should be.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say that's very similar. Speaking of, I put you in my top 25. Scott, did you finish your poll?
I did not.
I wondered. Try to open it tonight, because I actually just submitted mine earlier today. And I know it said the 14th, it said yesterday, but see if you can submit it tonight.
Oh, okay. They're redoing that.
That's good. Yeah, they did a February poll. And yes, you were in my top 25, Carolyne.
Nice.
Yeah, check that. Okay, so athletes coming back after a drug ban. The Henrik Oskarsson, they just said he's coming back. Should these athletes be tested prior to coming back or throughout their ban, or however you look at it?
They should be tested during their ban.
I
For
tend to agree
sure.
with that.
For sure. Like you can't go 4 years without getting tested. It's literally like, oh, continue doing for a little bit longer what you can do. And then next time you're at an in-person competition, you'll get tested. So, then they know. They're basically figuring out in the next 4 years how long things take to get out of their system. They got 4 years to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like they got to get tested somehow.
I did hear that Ricky Garrard was tested throughout the band, but I don't know. It could have been one time. One time? Is that what it was?
One time.
Yeah, so that's...
So I agree with you, Carolyne, that to me, if I'm in CrossFit and I get banned, let's juice it up to 11.
Figure out.
And get as strong as I can possibly get. And then when I know the half-life's going to be gone for my return back, then let it all out, right? But we don't even test the current athletes enough.
Guys,
like it's...
I have competed in CrossFit since 2014. I have been tested 3 times, I think. And I'm on the list of, I send my whereabouts every 3 to 4 months. I've been tested 3 times for the CrossFit Games, I want to say. And I've been on podiums like a few times in like different competitions. They're not testing enough. Because like, I don't take anything. I just take creaking. That's the only thing I take. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, if I'm getting tested 3 times in 10 years and I've been to 10 regionals and semifinals, like, I mean, I know some of the top athletes are getting tested a lot more, but still the other games athletes or bubble people, like there's just not enough testing. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Crazy.
I don't know what the solution is. That does seem like a big strain on the budget. So I don't know.
But then I'm like in my head, I'm like, but don't waste your test on me. Go test other people. I'm clean. Like, don't like, sure, test me, but like go test people. Like,
yeah,
just not enough. And yeah, and in the teams they only test 2 people, right? So I don't know. I'd rather pay more for competitions, knowing that everyone gets tested. I'd rather pay a little bit more in the competition fee if it means it's covering the testing of more people. But even then, people at competitions are normally off whatever they're taking. So it's
right.
like, it's during the open, show up to a gym, show up to a random affiliate that has a bunch of people, or just that, show up to an affiliate, test. Because everyone that's on the open are under that
testing pool,
could be tested. So during the open, just show up to places.
The only people that take during a competition are those that say, hey, my buddy gave me a bag of pills. I just took them.
But I know it's expensive, but yeah, I guess I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to do there either. All right.
Well, hopefully when they come back from their ban, though, is that they've learned their lesson. Like, that's what you hope for, right? Like, that's what my heart wants to believe, I guess. That they're coming back.
Could you have ever predicted that Ricky would be this popular after coming back?
No, I thought that there would be a little bit more, but even like this first year, I think he was greeted.
Well received. Yeah, he was.
He was actually well received. I was surprised, but
I was really surprised about his first year back being well received. And now he's like he's one of the most popular athletes in the sport.
Yeah, and I think people want to see someone learn from their lesson and learn from their lesson, and then like a comeback story. Like, we all love a comeback story. I think that's what's drawing people in. The only thing I didn't like from that situation is that his brother popped for the same thing 2 years later, and you're like,
did he learn? That's where I'm like, what about Ricky makes you think he learned from his lesson? And especially knowing his brother, like, maybe he just learned how to cycle.
No comment. I don't know. For me, the tough part is that his brother tested positive 2 years out. Like that was a tough part because I was like, well, one of them hasn't learned their lesson at least. But you hope. I don't know. I hope that because he's really a phenomenal athlete. Like he's not just a CrossFitter. Like he's a really good athlete. I think he played rugby. He's a great mountain biker. Or like, so like I like the athletes in the sport. So he's an athlete. So like I hope that he's learned.
LDY 2742. If you're caught, they should be tested every 3 months. Make the athlete pay for it.
I do like
if
that.
they want to compete.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah, something like that. I guess I don't even know how much the testing is, but something like that could.
Yeah,
be
I have no clue.
But I guess they would know when they're buying their own test to get tested, and I don't know how that would work, but
Yeah. It's you got to pay the penance, right? You're the one that tested positive. You want to stay in the sport. You got to pay for this over the next 4 years.
well, Brian Friend on what's it called? Around the Whiteboard is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Had like proposed that if you test positive and then you rat someone else out that is also juicing, that it would reduce yours because it would basically try to get more people to get tested. I still don't like the fact that you would reduce yours. Like going to rat someone else out shouldn't reduce what you did. Like you still tested positive and should get, your 4 years just by pointing fingers and say, well, go and test these ones that I got the supply from or whatever. Shouldn't be reducing your bad. But if it's going to grab more people, I don't know. Both are, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting take. I would almost be willing to dock a year just to get more people caught. It may be worth it.
So then it would go like no more than 1 year though. No more than 1 year.
Agreed. Like just because you do 2, you don't get 2
3 years. If you start going into 2 years and stuff, and all of a sudden, that would be
yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I want to make sure we attribute that to the right Brian. It was Brian Spin.
What did I say?
Friend.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Brian Spin. Wow. Yes.
I was when you said that Brian Friend was on Around the World. I knew that topic was brought on. But I was like, well, that's news that he was brought on.
I don't even know why I said Brian Friend. Different people. Yeah. Brian.
All right. Open predictions. So Scott, you want us to guess what we think like the first workout might be? Is that what we want to predict?
This isn't my note.
All right, Carolyne. All right, let's go.
I don't know. I was just asking if you had any predictions for the Open coming up. If you had anything.
Like prediction workout wise or prediction like
workout wise.
Okay.
Movement wise, week 1. Because you said it's unique.
I know.
Eloquent.
I'm intrigued by the wording around week 1.
Classic CrossFit. I think it's going to be simple classic CrossFit.
What's going to be unique in that?
I don't know. That to me is not unique.
I would like to think that they are done with the introductions of new movements in the Open. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's the place to introduce them. It's too many people interpreting something new
online.
Yeah.
I think I would also go with quarterfinals for that too. I think if there's a new movement introduced, I would like to see it in person with top judges and then have it trickle down from there. But when you have non-top judges and affiliates grabbing new movements, I don't think that's a good idea. Cindy. Ooh.
I don't think you're going to see burpee or push-ups in the Open. That's a recipe for disaster. But there could be a version of that, whether it be like burpee Cindy or Dave hypes every year, and it's never crazy different. Yeah.
He does have a way to just draw you in. Like, it's just like the way he would speak at the games, the way that he just, those words about the open, like those are the things I think that people miss the most, is just the way he talks about workouts and just gets you anxious. Literally, you're like listening to him, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of pain coming up.
It makes me think that it won't be a retest, because that's not really unique.
Like, what if it's like the 7 minutes of burpees, but it's like 7 minutes of, they had 10 minutes of burpee box jump overs on cap or .com. I get them mixed up now because a lot of cap has been showing up on .com. Something like that is just gross. You would like
so I would. And we actually were just talking about this recently. I would like to see burpee pull, either burpee bar muscle up or burpee ring muscle up. Because I personally think not connecting those reps, like I've said this before, like a ring muscle up with the dip, I think is the way to do it, or burpee ring muscle ups, so that you can't really get away with that push away as much. And making those be singles, and I just think
the hardest one is the first one.
Right. So yeah, like a burpee bar muscle up, I think would be fun.
Let me propose this. Everywhere we're hearing Boz and Dave talk about how we have to change the way the workouts look so that everybody can start, not everybody can finish. And maybe workout 1 is a demonstration of that. So my first ever open workout was 13-1. It was 50 burpees, then snatches, lightweight. Then you went more burpees or less burpees, but then a heavier snatch. What if you did like both? You start with regular burpees and you do a light snatch. Then you do burpee pull-ups and a heavier snatch. Then burpee bar muscle ups and a heavier snatch. Something like that demonstrates what the new way of the workout is going to be, so that everybody can play, but we can still test for the fittest on earth.
I think we're going to see a lot of that type of thing, or the gated type workouts in quarterfinals. I think they've already alluded to that. They've basically said the 25% will be able to start the workout. They probably won't be able to finish. So I would be hesitant to think that they're going to do that also in the open. Just because I think that's going to be, you're going to see 5 of those types of workouts in quarterfinals. So I don't know. I don't think we'll see shuttles personally. I don't think shuttles will be in. I don't necessarily think, have they shown a equipment list?
No, I don't think they're doing that this year. Boz said that the equipment list basically came out of the pandemic, and they're going away from that. But
now you should just have everything.
Basically have everything available. But I don't think we'll see anything with 25 feet for the open. I think something on the spot or in a smaller area that's just easier for the affiliates might be the way to go, just to facilitate classes to run the workouts.
We've had 25 feet for a long time.
We have.
With lunges.
2016 was the introduction, I think, with the overhead walking lunges, burpees, chest to bar one, I think, was the first time.
So I don't think that's the big problem for affiliates. It's that it's
designated floor length, yeah.
I would say that one, it would be a problem, because on overhead, bar, a lot of like our gym would have to go under the rig. And like that just takes up a lot of room, like a bar versus like dumbbells in 17.2. I think it was
The lunge.
bar muscle up, toes to bar, power clean one. Like that takes a little bit less room that you can kind of go a little closer in lanes if you're by people, but the overhead bar I think would be less.
And you could make lunges 15 feet or like shorten it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it'd still be effective. Hell, you can lunge in place and it's effective.
Very hard, yeah. Yeah, especially because you're having to push off if you're doing like, let's say a forward lunge or a reverse lunge. That could be, I can see that. Do we see a max lift?
I think we will see a max lift.
What's your prediction of the max lift? I think a heavy deadlift is coming.
Woo!
14.3. Box jumps and deadlifts, ascending ladder. It's coming. It's coming back.
Oh, so you just think just like 14.3, like the workout with, not like a 1 rep max deadlift.
No, I don't think they'd do
a
1 rep max deadlift. But
I think there's going to be a two-part workout with a lift.
Complex or a lift?
So I would prefer to see a complex for sure. I just think doing a single lift after, and I think it should be after a workout, and I think it should be, you should have to do the workout in some fashion to earn the lift.
The 1 year, 2021, when they did the complex, I did not like the format of once you got done, you had 1 minute or something. I don't know what the time was, because you were getting penalized by being fitter.
Yep.
Because if you finished and then if you didn't finish the workout, let's say you began lifting, I don't remember the time. It was the thruster chest to bar one. And then let's say 12 minutes. At the 12-minute mark, you had a time cap, and then however long you had for your lifts. But if you finish that in, let's say, 8 minutes, you were lifting at 9 minutes.
Yep.
You were lifting under a certain fatigue. And if you didn't have the fitness to finish very fast and you had to wait around because you didn't have, let's say, a chest to bar or the bar muscle up, you got to rest. Basically, you could almost load your bar, get ready, and then you got to do your lift fresh, while the fitter athletes were under fatigue. So I don't like that idea. I like that if you are going into another lift, if you finish earlier,
get more rest.
You earn that rest.
100%.
And not 1 minute later, you finish, boom, go.
Yeah.
I didn't like
absolutely.
It was 2021.
Yeah. I didn't like that either. I remember specifically that there were people in the gym outlifting me, which is not rare, but who did half the amount of work. And I'm like, if you would have continued to work what I did, you wouldn't have hit what you hit. I know that for a fact. Yeah, I don't like workouts like that.
Yeah. So if there is a second part, it can't be like 2015 with part A was 9 minutes and then part B was the clean and jerk and people sat around and then a max lift, which is very similar to me. People didn't sit around for 2021, 21.3/4.
Yep.
But it was the same idea as 2015 where someone could still float around for the first part and then get ready for their lift.
Yeah. Scott, do you think there will be a lift in the open?
I'll be honest. I have not thought about the open because of the last week too much. I always love a lift. I'll tell you, the year they had the burpees you had to finish to be able to lift.
Yes.
It pushed me to, and that's the only workout I've ever repeated because I missed it by like 2 reps the first time. And then went in with a different strategy and finished it and was able to do the lift on the second one. That was a game changer.
Yeah. That was one of that workout was tough, but like, I think that's the way you program a lift for sure. You have to show the fitness to earn it. I was thinking bench too. Sorry.
What if we're all thinking there's like a max lift, but it's a max gymnastics movement? And it's like max reps of, I don't know. They did pull-ups in team series the 1 year or something like that, in a certain amount of time, or something on a machine, like a 2K row.
So did you see their posts the other day of, it was like basically some people say a 2K row is one of like the worst things. How about 3 of them? And it was like 2K row, rest 3 minutes, repeat, 2K row, rest 3 minutes, repeat. And I was like, gross.
Something that people avoid doing, like in like repeated workouts, and it's like your score is your slowest, or something like that. And it's like, that sucks.
Yes.
And we're all thinking max lift, but it could be something different and unique. And it's something that tests fitness. I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
That would take so long. I mean,
it wouldn't be they wouldn't be a 2K, but I don't know. Something. Let's see.
But I saw that one and I was like, oh my God. I suppose you could do a 2K row. I mean, they've had 25-minute workouts.
25?
Yeah. Well, shoot, they had the thruster double under, which had no time cap.
Thruster double under.
17.5. There were people that there literally was no clock for that. So you potentially could have gone for, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to think of, 17.5.
But for the most part, I think they're done in about 20 minutes, but I don't know. Is that Scott?
I was going to say there's no cap for 14.5, 16.5.
Yeah, the burpees.
So, yeah. All right, we ready to wrap this thing up?
Yes.
I put the next one here, and I listened to this just before the show on Death By. One of the questions was, can you be balanced in life and win the CrossFit Games? Because it's almost been like an armor for people to say, and I'll just say Matt Fraser, he did not live in balance to win the CrossFit Games. When he was training, it was all about training and all about winning the games. Do you think you can be balanced in life and win?
Yes. Well, in life, there's still some sacrifices, I guess. But I don't know. I think Pat Vellner has gone pretty close.
Is that why he can't win?
Used Alex Gazan as an example of someone who is just such a freak athlete. He thinks she can do it. And she's very adamant about having balance in her life.
What's balance for her?
I would.
She's doing this. She's doing this full time. That's
exactly.
She doesn't have a job, or defined job is CrossFit. Yeah, sponsorship obligations and stuff. I don't know what I would consider balance in that point. I guess everyone's balance is different, though. That's the thing as well. Is my balance will look different than someone else's balance, because what I can handle will be different than someone else's. I mean, Ariel still doesn't work, though. In terms, she has her daughter.
Are you saying being a mother is not working?
No. I'm saying she's, no. But I'm saying she's she's training at home. She has her daughter, and then she has she's not doing another job on top, right? She has her daughter that she's doing a lot of activities with, and then doing her training around that part. Which I think helps. I mean, her garage gym. Oh my gosh, have you guys seen how nice it looks? Her new garage gym that's getting built.
The new one,
beautiful. Damn, that's amazing.
That's what happens when you.
I would say she's pretty close in terms of balance, because of it's not only CrossFit, but I mean, there's other fathers and mothers too in this space. So I guess, yeah, I guess, how do we define balance? Are we talking about, can you have a job, like another career? Is that what we're talking about? Or because there's other athletes that, I mean, male athletes aren't coming back from like a pregnancy like Ariel or Annie or Cara Tia have. So I guess like that's completely different, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be curious what their
What
that's
does
when they
balance-
yeah, what were they trying to say when they said that? I mean, it's notable with Matt, right? Like he was a singular focus and to the effect of not using a knife during season, not going to someone's birthday party, not see like if you become no longer social to the point where you like will not go somewhere with your friends on a Friday night because you don't want to go to a restaurant or you don't and have a different food. I would say no, you're not balanced. I would say I'm not balanced and I'm not nowhere near. So like there's lots of things I declined to do with my family that I would have not declined to do years ago. And I can only imagine that the people that do this like fully full time are even worse than me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's the balance question that I have trouble, because that's
What is
different for everyone.
balance?
Like
Because it's going to be different for everyone.
everyone's balance is different. Exactly. Like I think if just looking on social, and what you see on social media isn't even an accurate representation of what people probably do outside. But it's nice to see, though, you know, someone like Pat, for instance, still put in some hours at his chiropractor job that he's doing. Then he has a family as well. Plus he's, podium at the games. Ariel has a daughter. You can see her doing activities with her daughter and doing things like it's different. Like she doesn't have the job as well as Pat, but then she also came back from pregnancy. Like it's just different. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it can happen though. I think it can happen. Yeah, I think Emma Lawson does a pretty good job, but again, she's not working. I'm pretty sure she's living at home, has a great setup at home, has a lot of sponsorships, but in terms of her life balance, it's easier maybe to have a balanced life when your partner is a games athlete as well and they have similar interests. Like I think that balance, they see each other at the gym as well, and then they can spend some time after. I don't know.
And that was
connected. Like it's still connected, but she is still doing kid or young stuff, right? Rich Rolling's a good example.
Yeah, but
that guy has no balance.
When he was individual, no way.
He has no balance.
He had to go team to get balance.
Yeah. His kids come to the gym.
He doesn't
I
have
love
balance now. I love him too, but like there's not. I don't know.
They did say on the show that those who are partnered with their life partner as a coach and life partner seem to be more balanced, like a Jeff Adler or a Tia Toomey, but it's just probably more disguised.
Roll
always with
Pat. No, not Pat.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is their lifestyle as a family. So the balance there is in unison in a sense.
Yeah. Well, the last thing we have on our agenda is from the TDC podcast, Vendor Village not attached directly to the venue at this year's games. It's a few hundred meters away. It's a walk. It's not right next to it. It's going to have a different feeling. They're going to plan for big breaks between events to hopefully drive people over there. Thoughts for vendors? On the surface, without seeing it, I think that sucks.
There's something like even if they put big breaks, like people are going to go to a restaurant. People are, but having to walk through the vendor village, like having it so easily accessible there, I think really helps the vendors. I mean, if they go and do workouts in the vendor village because it's a bigger vendor village, and it's like, hey, meet at 1:00 here for a community workout, having these athletes signed. It could draw people. I think that's what they're going to try to do. But I think I guess we'll see year one, but it's definitely interesting that it's not attached. Because when that building came up, the Dickies, we all thought, oh, the vendor village is going to look great here and there, but it's not attached.
So one, what are they using that area that typically is a vendor village for? And basic freaking business 101, wherever it is, make it the entrance to the arena. Make people have to come and go. You have to walk through vendor village to go to the arena. And I'm okay with it. Like if you ask Vindicate and Paper Street, who were right inside of Wodapalooza last year, not this year, but last year, and everybody had to walk by their booth to get to any of the venues, they killed it.
Yep.
So I don't know. That just
the open
me.
And it's going to be open to the public.
And that works then. If it's the entrance, you have to walk through there to get to the arena. You just have the gate on the back end to go into the arena, or you can exit over here if you're just there for the public.
Yeah, that I agree. I feel like if it's going to be separate, it needs to lead into the venue. You have funnel traffic through there. If you want people to keep sponsoring these things for exorbitant amounts of money, they have to have the foot traffic. They have to make their money back. I mean, Wodapalooza didn't go great for a lot of vendors, and a lot of vendors don't want to go back.
Because of the rain also, probably.
And that may be a big part of it, is the rain was keeping spectators away in general. I just think there was less foot traffic in general at Wodapalooza this year overall.
Interesting.
I think it was paid seats.
The paid seats made less people go to Wodapalooza because they were too expensive. So less people bought tickets.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
I didn't hear anything about Craig Ritchie. He wasn't a vendor. He just had he said he lost money paying to go. Normally he would make that back in his YouTube views.
So Hustle has had a booth at Wodapalooza every year I've been there. And it's a massive open air booth with tons of meet and greets and stuff like that. So he may have had one this year. This was my first miss in a couple of years.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't make out so well. Again, I heard quite a few didn't. So yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Well, we're over our 90 minutes.
Shocker.
But good show tonight. Thank you everybody in the comments for being here. Thank everybody for the well wishes and the love in the comments. I love you all. This has been fun. We'll have to do it again. Get Carolyne or Lex back on and really get some stuff going. With that, we will catch everybody next time on Thursday night CrossFit Talk. Bye, guys.
We about to change the game. We out here taking names.